All right, listen, I know I said I was done making political videos. I don't like making political videos. I want to make stock market and investing and maybe some stock trading videos. I don't like talking about politics. But the more very angry, middle-aged, lonely men tell me to shut up, the less I want to shut up. I started this TikTok account to teach people about the stock market and how to invest. And I know people go, hey, shut up and stop talking about politics and just talk about the money, but they're related. And this is a very common question. Didn't Democrats control the whole thing right when Biden got elected? Why didn't they get anything done then? Well, they did. They got a lot done. But again, it tells me that people don't really understand how anything really works in DC. Politics, how all this stuff. Look, okay, here's how, listen. Yes, Democrats controlled both the House and the Senate, but barely. It was a 50-50 split in the Senate, which, okay, so the vice president is a tie-breaking vote, so it's always going to be 51, right? So they always can pass more things and they can get everything done. Well, not quite. See, there's this thing called the filibuster rule, which requires 60 votes to get anything major really passed through. So without bipartisan support, and who's going to want to work with Biden, right? Nobody wants to work with the other side because they don't want to give the other side a win, because a win gives them a chance at a re-election, which means that they're now 8 years away from imposing their policies. So nobody wants to work together, and that's what we need to get these major bills passed. In 2021, they did pass the COVID relief bill, which some people think was great and other people didn't like, but they did get it passed. There was also the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act that did get passed, pumping in over $1 trillion into our crumbling infrastructure. This was very needed and very good for the economy. However, they couldn't agree on stuff like healthcare reform, voting rights, and other economic policies. So even though they had total control, and it's this narrative that people like to say, well, they had total control, they didn't do anything. Well, they didn't really have total control. They needed 60 votes. They only had 51. Since this is a money channel, how does it relate to the stock market? I will tell you. But first, if you're interested in this kind of thing and you're not trying to be some smug little know-it-all smartass, smash that follow. Otherwise, you can leave. I don't have patience for, well, I'll be nice. A lot of people look back at the Trump administration with fond memories of a simpler time when only 1.1 million Americans had died because of COVID. But see, when Trump got into office, the economy was already in the upswing because of what Obama did to improve things from the 2008 housing crisis. So he steps into a really strong economy. Now, his goal is to build upon that economy and make things stronger. But instead, what he did was focus on deregulation and a lot of tax cuts for the super wealthy, which really benefited investors on Wall Street. And maybe even me a little bit. Now, those tax cuts, we're living through now. So when people say, I want Trump's tax plan, you're in it. You're in it until 2025 when it expires. And all of his tax plans and all of his deregulation and all of the debt that he added, over $2 trillion in debt, we're paying for now. This is not just my opinion. It's just a fact. Now let's talk about the Keystone Pipeline as well, because it's a hot button issue where people say like, well, when Trump was president, gas prices were lower. Now Biden's president, gas prices are higher. Therefore, Trump good for gas, Biden bad for gas. Not quite. Simple answers are really easy to understand, but it's unfortunately more complex. The Keystone Pipeline would have had a minimal impact on job growth or oil prices, if any. Higher gas prices, man, it's a global issue. And I want to talk about one last issue, which is immigration and how it affects housing and inflation. Well, they're letting in all these illegal immigrants. What about them? They're contributing to inflation. They're the reason that housing prices are so high. But that's actually wrong. It's just wrong. The increase that we're seeing in housing can be contributed to lots of things, like zoning, materials, a limited supply chain, like because of COVID. Remember when lumber was in such short supply? And the price of lumber just absolutely skyrocketed for a brief moment in time? Immigrants play a vital role in our agriculture and our construction industries. That can actually keep the cost down. But yes, immigration can impact the economy, but in the big picture, it's actually a very small piece of the pie. So was Joe Biden the greatest president of all time? Stock market's open. Was Joe Biden the greatest president ever? No, of course not. But I hope this video kind of explains why, even though people say, well, they had full control, why didn't they get anything done? Or, well, they were in office, why didn't they pass any of the things they want? I hope this video kind of explains how the system works. The stock market, energy prices, the economy, they are not 100% controlled by the president. There's a lot of factors that have to be considered. Really simple explanations sound nice, but unfortunately, it's usually much more complicated than just a simple statement or 1 or 2 word answer. All right, now I know I said I was done making these political videos yesterday. I really hope that this is the last one that I make because I really don't like making these videos. So if you've made it to the end and you're a new follower, first of all, thank you very much. If you're an old follower and you're offended and you're mad at me, that's fine. I understand, that's your right. You can unfollow if you want. Hopefully now we can move past all this political stuff and focus on what we're all here to do, which is make money and invest. All right, smash that follow. Thanks for watching. See you later.